it's Dana, your favorite psychic. Are you ready for another message? Come on in and get comfortable. Put your feet up, get you a blanket, a pillow, something to eat, something to drink, something to smoke. Throw it up on a big screen if you want to. Put in the earbuds, kick back and relax, because we're going to unpack some psychic messages. Hey, Taurus. How's it rolling? How's it going? How's it shaking down for you, Taurus? It's Dana. I've been MIA for just a minute. I have. Sorry about that. I've been going through some things, Taurus. And I haven't felt compelled, right? If you've been around this channel for a little bit, you should know that I have to feel compelled to bring a message to the table, or I just can't do it. I feel inspired now, Taurus. Let's read. Five of Swords. First card out sets tone for everything right here. This Five of Swords talks about white knuckle grip on a win at all cost mentality. What it is that you're gripping onto right now. What it is that you're holding onto. Whatever it is you're holding onto, you seem to think that it's the way. It's the way, right? Sun in reverse says, not necessarily. You're not seeing something clearly here. And I was like, well, what is this about? Well, the moon, your higher self versus your lower self. The moon is about your shadow work. So this particular Taurus that this reading is going to be talking about needs to do a little bit of shadow work so they can see clearly that what it is that they think is the way isn't necessarily the way. And the Seven of Cups in reverse. Seven of Cups in reverse talks about delusion, believing something that's not true. So this particular Taurus is believing that whatever it is that they are locked into is the way that it should be. And these cards are saying that they need you to consider this for a minute. I asked what the root of this Five of Swords is, and it's the Ace of Swords, some truth, an aha, light bulb, truth moment. To the Queen of Pentacles, about your safety, your security, your sense of well-being, your identity. And the Knight of Pentacles, because you are too comfortable in a particular situation in your life. And that's what it kind of all boils down to. You're a little too comfortable in some kind of place in your life. All right? Now, the five of Wands in reverse. This is about an increased focus on goals. It's also about avoidance, okay? So the avoidance would apply to the Knight of Pentacles right there, right? You've been in this Five of Swords avoiding the conflict of change. Perfect. How's that? Been in the Five of Swords, right? Avoiding the conflict of the Five of Wands, avoiding the conflict of change. And the Two of Wands comes on top of this and says, you have to have a heads up. You got to be looking into your future, right? It's time to step forward. Right now, it's time to step forward, okay? Here's the problem, though. This is the Queen of Cups in reverse. And this is emotional codependency, which you can spin off into a bazillion different directions about, right? If you want to learn how to read the tarot, or you just want to understand the tarot better, I'm about to put out a book. And in the next couple of weeks, I'm putting the finishing touches on it now. It's a paperback book. It's an audio book. And it's also a audio-visual compilation about how to read, understand, and interpret the tarot with my algorithm. All right, so this is emotional codependency, which can spin off in a bunch of different ways, right? But when I saw this, what I saw mostly was guilt, okay? There's some guilt that this particular Taurus has. Ace of Wands in reverse that keeps them from doing something. And then the Nine of Swords in reverse comes on top of this and says, this particular Taurus, maybe that's the conflict that you're avoiding. Maybe if you did something differently, you would be creating some kind of conflict. But this Taurus is in a place or situation or circumstance in their life where they're a bit anxiety stricken because they think it's the right way or the only way, and that there's no other options. And that's not true. Okay? The alchemist in reverse. This is an inability to manifest, right? In the upright, it's focusing your time, your attention, your efforts. It's writing the recipe for what it is that you want in your life and ordering it up from the universe, because this world that we live in is a mirror, right? Whatever you're putting out is exactly what it is that you're going to get back in some form or fashion. That's what the alchemist in the upright is about, right? It's about controlling your thought life, because what you put out, you get back, right? It's becoming the master of your thought life and taking all of your elements, earth, water, air, fire, emotions, sense of well-being, sense of security, and inspirations, right? Taking all of it and pointing it towards what it is that you want your life to be. In the reverse, it's someone who is not doing that. They're not doing it. 9 of Wands in reverse, overwhelmed, not fighting the good fight, lacking spiritual strength. And then the King of Swords comes on top of this and says, you got to pull this together here, Taurus, because you're off track and you're off point. You're manifesting from a deficit. You are in the 9 of Swords energy, right? Anxiety and despair. Sometimes YouTube gives me a hard time about that card. Your identity, you got to have some aha moment, because you're like in this safe place that you think is the only option, but yet at the same time you're avoiding the conflict of doing anything differently. And this King of Swords says, no, 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 no. The Devil in reverse. This is about releasing your limiting beliefs. This is about detaching from the strings from the ties that bind you to a situation. This is about taking a look in the mirror and seeing what kind of toxic bond you have with whomever or whatever in this situation. And it very well may go back to a string in your childhood, because the sun is always about happiness, success, and vitality, from finding and freeing the inner child, right? In the reverse, it's about someone that hasn't really paid much attention to that. So, word. Release your limiting beliefs. It's time for you to let go of this guilt that is holding you in a certain situation. Why? Well, second row, first card is the World. It's time to change. Things need to change. You have all of the tools in your tool chest to do what it is that you need to do in the next phase of your life. It is time for growth. It's time to step into your future. It's time to face yourself in the mirror and see what it is that you're putting out, because that's what it is that you're getting back. The World card says it's time to go from this situation. It's time to close down the old chapter and begin to write a new chapter with everything that you have learned up to this point. To the Page of Pentacles, new opportunities await you, Taurus. There's new things out there. There's new ground to grow new seeds on. And this Taurus is in this 5 of Swords energy, just saying, no, this is it. This is the only way. This is it. The Sun in reverse says you're not seeing clearly. Sun in reverse, you're not seeing clearly. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. If you keep doing it the way that you've always done it, you're just going to keep getting it the way that you've always gotten it. A lack of success in your sense of well-being. See, look, if you will contemplate and reevaluate how you're going about growing the seeds of your life, you will see very, very clearly that the path to happiness, success, and vitality is addressing the wounded child, which is why you feel guilty. Something about your woundedness is making you feel guilty about doing something that is in your best interest and in your best and highest good. Yes, ma'am. 6 Pentacles in the center of the reading. The giving and the receiving and the sharing of life, prosperity, overflowing prosperity. That's where the universe is trying to direct you. That's what they need you to pay attention to. The World in reverse, because it can't happen without you, right? This situation up here is a repeat cycle of some kind of behavior pattern in your life that is out of guilt, preventing you from making decisions that are in your best and highest good. Yes. Yes, yes. The Hermit, soul searching and introspection, taking a step back. Really, really connecting with whatever it is you're calling your higher power, because they want to tell you, the star in reverse, you're not on track. This is not the path. This is not the purpose. This is not the way. And it's not what you're supposed to be doing. But there's some wounded guilt factor that is keeping you from stepping out into the great unknown and claiming your destiny. Soul searching, introspection. What do they want to talk to you about? Well, the Three of Pentacles in reverse, a lack of teamwork and collaboration. So whomever or whatever it is that you are in this situation with, in the whole top row right there, they need you to understand that there's not equal effort being put into a situation. They need you to understand that this top row is a lack of collaboration with universal order. They need you to understand that whomever or whatever you are entwined with, it's different for everyone. This is a general reading, right? Get your own cards read and we'll get to the nitty-gritty of your own details. But whomever this is kind of hitting with right here, you're not getting back what you're putting into something. Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles talks about foundation, talks about legacy, talks about money straight up. To the Empress. This is you. This is the card of Taurus. Libra too, but we're talking Taurus. The Empress is the magician. She's made from the magician. It's lesson one, the magician. The most important thing that anyone can ever understand is to control your mind. That is why the magician is in lesson number one. And I address this in my book. Lesson two is the high priestess. Your ancient higher self, constantly, always trying to lead you in the path of your best and highest good. And she flipped out of the deck twice when I was shuffling. That leads to lesson three, which is the Empress. The dirt of life. Everything grows from her because she understands how to control her thought life, to manifest her reality, and how to follow her intuition because it's leading her towards her true north. And in order for you to manifest your destiny, they need you to understand your power, male or female, right? It's the yin and the yang, right? We all are a half and half of all of that. Some of it is expressed more than others. All of us have the Empress. We are the Empress. We were born to be the Empress, to control our environment, to create the experience we want to live, not live the experience that was created for us. And when you understand your power of the Empress, that puts you in the position of being able to create the foundational life of the Ten of Pentacles. A great deal of stability and security. And that's what this new opportunity is back here. That's what the new cycle of your life is supposed to be about. But they need you to get yourself straight in your understanding of who you are. Page of Swords in reverse, right? To the Knight of Wands in reverse and the Hangman. You not taking action to change the way that you think, to cut yourself loose from the tree with a new perspective, is the holdup for everything. You are stuck in this place and they need you to go. They need you to move. There's things waiting for you. What's waiting for you? Well, the Ten of Pentacles and the Fool. Leveling up of your spirituality first and foremost with the Fool. This Fool card is interchangeable in all of the lessons of the major arcana, right? With the World card in reverse, right? When you do what you need to do to flip it in the upright, close down a long-standing chapter of your life and step into a new chapter of your life, the Fool comes in, right? Lesson learned, the Fool comes in. Leveling up, new beginning, new journey, right? The Devil, when you conquer the attachments that bind you to your flesh experience, when you stop choosing your lower self over your higher self, this card flips, releases your limiting beliefs, and here comes the Fool, right? Brand new beginning, brand new journey in this concept. In this concept, in this concept. The Fool is one of my very favorite cards because it's just like new start, new start, new start. So the Ten of Pentacles to the Fool, brand new start, brand new beginning. It's right beneath the World in the Page of Pentacles, right? Brand new beginning, brand new journey, brand new start, and it's going to be extremely lucrative and secure. But you got to get out of whatever this attachment that binds you to the situation that you're in. You got to figure out what that is. This is general. I can't tell you that. It's different for everyone. The Ten of Swords, an ending, pain, betrayal, deception. The Five of Cups, loss, regret, despair, disappointment. The King of Swords, someone not owning their truth. Okay? And that's what this situation at the top up here is. That's why you're in the anxiety of the Nine of Swords in reverse right there, right? Because you are in an energy of woundedness somehow. And because of that energy of woundedness, you are staying in a situation that isn't your truth. The situation's not your truth. You have to hide yourself in some way or dampen yourself in some way to be in this situation. And it's not cool. Loss, regret, despair, disappointment, not owning your truth. And then the Eight of Pentacles comes on top of this and says, we got to work on this. We got to work on this. We got to work this out. We have to change this. We have to do something else because this is not where you're supposed to be, Taurus, whatever this is for you. This is not where you're supposed to be. And then death, an ending, a change, and a transformation. Work out this stuff so you can have a massive transformation. And then the Emperor comes on top of this. This is two things. For some of you, when you handle your internal work right here and realize that you are avoiding conflict by changing some kind of situation in your life, when you understand that, when you work that out within you, that opens the door for it to come to an end and for the new beginning to take root. That brings you an offer from someone in a position to make you an offer. For some of you, this Emperor is your metamorphosis from lesson after lesson, from the Empress into the Emperor, from the Alchemist in reverse to the Empress into the Emperor. He is lesson 4. He's about stability and structure. He's about building on the outside of your life what it is that you believe on the inside of your life. And if you're out there trying to do some kind of spiritual career and you can't make it past the Alchemist in reverse, you got a problem. You need to reevaluate how you're going about doing things. You can't be a healer until you understand how to apply your own healing. Application, execution of the healing. Not just understanding it. Understanding it does you nothing. Executing it in your life is where you see the results. Somehow this person is not owning their truth. And that's why they're encouraging you to own your truth, to deal with this whole situation, because the next phase of your life, the success of the next phase of your life depends on you being able to build on the outside of your life what the Empress has built on the inside of her life. This Empress is spiritual, right? The Emperor comes behind the Empress as lesson 4 and creates in reality what this Empress believes internally. And that is the next phase of the life for this, the next phase of life for this person. But it can't happen until they own their truth. And somehow the truth that you need to own is buried in your woundedness, in your wounded child. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Princess of Wands in reverse. This is a lack of excitement, a lack of enthusiasm, but guess what? A lack of effort. To Judgment in reverse. Lack of effort. A lack of effort in what? Well, in making a decision to draw a line in the sand and say, this all stops here today, right now. I am no longer going to soften myself in order to be made acceptable for someone else. Not going to do it, right? King of Swords right there. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not anymore. Not going to do it. Put some effort in to understanding the psychological dynamics of what your situation is. And the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups talks about emotional expansion, right? Where the new cycle of your life needs to grow, where your new spirituality needs to take root, where the new building of your new life on the outside of everything in this new phase of your life, where that needs to take root. Look in the seeds of the Page of Pentacles right there. Where this needs to take root is being occupied by the woundedness that is holding on to something that they think is the only way, the only option, and the only thing that can happen in the situation. And that's because it is. Because you're manifesting in the negative and you're mirroring back to yourself the anxiety and the despair of the Nine of Swords in reverse. You picking it up? You feeling it? Do you understand how important it is to gauge your mind in the direction that you want your life to go? This is a Taurus in this top row that is not in control of themselves. Out of control. Letting circumstances control. Ace of Cups talks about emotional expansion, the healing of that wounded child so things can grow. Not only that, but it does talk about new love. And we do have the Emperor and the Empress right here. So if that's your thing, maybe this is that for you. It's highly successful. Changes your destiny. Ten of Pentacles here twice. It's about destiny and legacy. Perhaps building on the outside of your life what it is that you believe on the inside of your life. Transforming from the Empress into the Emperor. Perhaps that is the legacy that you're going to leave. The imprint that you're going to leave in this physical world. Perhaps that is part of the path and the purpose of your soul. Could be anything for anyone. All we do know for sure is that there is some form of emotional expansion that leads you to your destiny. Hey, I'm going to take my own commercial break right here and let you guys know that I have merch now. I do. In addition to my book, The 21 Concepts of Awakening, A Guided Journey to Expand Your Mind, I have created a collection of cups for your favorite beverage. So bounce on over to myfavoritepsychic.shop, pick up a cup, pick up an audiobook or an ebook, head to the beach, head to the pool, go on that road trip, or just snuggle up in the AC and expand your mind. The Wheel of Fortune, the turning point. Your emotional expansion is the turning point. The Hierophant. What do we got here? The Hierophant and the Fool. To the Five of Cups. The Chariot. King of Cups in reverse. And the Two of Cups. Okay. Now. This Hierophant is asking you what it is you believe. It's asking you what you believe and what it is that you're going to build your life upon. Believe it or not, this is lesson 5, okay? You got 3 turning into 4, turning into 5. The Hierophant is the foundation that this Emperor is going to build the reality that this Empress has created inside of herself. What are you going to build upon? What are the foundation stones of this new cycle, of this new life, of this new opportunity? What are you going to choose to build your life upon? What do you believe about yourself, about your life, about love, about marriage, about job, career, everything? What do you believe about yourself? Got to get that straight, because the next chapter of your life is going to be built upon that. The Fool again. Brand new beginning, brand new journey. Leveling up of your spirituality, an ascension into the next leg of your journey. Yep. So, I asked, hold up. 5 of Cups. Loss, regret, despair, disappointment. Afraid to disappoint someone. Guilt. Afraid to disappoint someone. The Chariot says, come on, let's go. We got to go. We got to go. Reflect and assess. It's a 7, right? Reflect and assess on this whole thing. Do what you got to do and get in, because we got to go. And then we got the King of Cups in reverse and the Two of Cups. And I asked, what is this Queen of Cups in reverse and the King of Cups in reverse? What is this? And it's clarified by the Two of Cups. So this guilt that you are experiencing in this particular situation has to do with the severing of some kind of important relationship in your life. You will have to sever some kind of important relationship. Maybe not sever, maybe that's a little bit severe, but you will have to disengage yourself from some kind of relationship in some way in order to move forward in your life and step into the next phase. Four of Pentacles in reverse talks about a lack mentality. This relationship that you will have to disengage from in order to move into the next phase of your life is a relationship that is built upon a lack mentality. You are in this relationship because it fills what you think is some kind of a deficit in your life. Maybe security all the way around. It could be a landlord. It could be this relationship that you're going to have to disengage from, right? It could be a landlord. It could be a spouse. It could be any kind of a living situation, being stability and security, right? Could be a job, could be a relationship. Whatever it is for you, it's rooted in lack instead of overflowing abundance. And then we have the Tower in reverse talking about avert disaster. What's the disaster? Well, the disaster is going to be doing the same thing over and over and over again because you have some unhealed bullshit that is keeping you from literally creating your life, literally ascending into the next level of your spiritual journey. Prince of Wands, take some inspired action, put in some serious effort to the King of Swords to make some serious decisions about your future. Own your truth. Own your truth, because you're not owning your truth is some kind of conflict that you're trying to avoid right here. Screw that. Absolutely not. Hell no. I'm the Empress. Absolutely not. I know my power. I know I have the power to create my reality. I know who I am, where I'm going, and what I'm going to do with myself. And I kid you not, the Fool, again, brand new beginning, brand new journey, brand new life, brand new path, brand new purpose, filled with the Ten of Pentacles, filled with spiritual wisdom, filled with commitment, the good kind of commitment, the kind of commitment that you choose to be in. Owning your truth all over the place. To the Three of Pentacles. Have some teamwork and some collaboration with universal order, and universal order is going to rain down on your life everything that is important to you, Taurus. Everything that is important to you. Whatever that is. It's beautiful. Ascension, ascension, ascension. The next path, the next leg of your journey. That's what's next. But you have to take action. You have to move from this complacent place that you're in, where you're trading your truth for some kind of security. Bullshit. You are the freaking Empress. Bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck. Six of Wands. Victory, progress, success from overcoming the battle. What's the battle? This woundedness that is keeping you in this place of guilt, that is sequestering your whole destiny. Prince of Swords. Communication coming into you? Maybe. Like I said, way back here somewhere when that turning point is, when you realize what's going on here and you have that turning point, there is for some of you an offer from an emperor that is going to change everything. And then for some of you, you are going to morph into the emperor. And that would be wrapping your mind around and understanding and executing it in your life with that Prince of Swords right there. Seven of Pentacles. Take a step back, reflect and assess on how you're going about growing the seeds of your life. To Temperance in reverse. Because this Nine of Swords in reverse and not owning your truth, you're leaking out the bottom of your life. You have to overflow in order to enjoy this human experience, and you're just leaking all over the place. You're like a car that needs oil. Eight of Swords, all trapped in fear in your head, immobilized with fear. And that is not Source speaking to you. Source speaking to you is the Fool and the Hierophant and the Ten of Pentacles and the Devil in reverse and the Emperor and the Empress. That's Source speaking to you. Whoever is whispering fear in your ears is not coming from Source energy. Four of Wands. The life that you want to create for yourself, Taurus, the beautiful life that you want to create for yourself cannot be made if you are manifesting in the negative. Upset in your emotions, deficient in your emotions, definitely in a place of anxiety, despair, and pain. Doesn't have to be like this, Taurus. Doesn't have to be like this at all. You are the freaking Empress. You are the Empress, Taurus. Dig in, dig up this thing that they're talking about for you. Figure out what your problem is, right? Look in the mirror and say, all right. What do I got to do? What do I got to do inside of myself to believe that I am the Empress? Right? And now if you look in the mirror and you say, if everyone around me would just act right, I would be the Empress. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself, because that's teetering on narcissism right there. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, how can you find your truth, own your truth, so your truth can set you free? I do hope this helps someone to think in a different way. Namaste.